The galaxy had seen its share of challenges, but none as devastating as the outbreak of the Sithra virus. What began as a localized infection on the remote planet Mortune rapidly spread through interstellar travel routes, infecting millions across different species. The virus did not discriminate. Its deadly reach extended to all corners of the galaxy, causing panic and despair. Entire planets were placed under quarantine, and the search for a cure became the highest priority for the Galactic Health Federation. The Sithra virus was unlike any other. It originated from the dense jungles of Mortune, known for its hazardous environment and dangerous wildlife. The Krethak people had lived with Sithra for centuries, developing natural immunities over generations. However, with the virus's mutation and transmission to other species, even the Krethaks found themselves vulnerable. As the death toll rose, hope seemed to dwindle, and the galaxy teetered on the brink of collapse. On Earth, Dr. Eliza Carter was among the first to study the virus's effects on humans. The initial data was alarming. The Sithra virus attacked the nervous system, leading to severe neurological symptoms, high fever, seizures, hallucinations, and in many cases, death within days of exposure. Existing antiviral treatments proved ineffective, and conventional methods of vaccine development were slow, hindered by the virus's rapid mutation rate. Dr. Carter's lab was a hub of activity. Researchers worked around the clock, analyzing samples, testing compounds, and searching for any sign of a breakthrough. The atmosphere was tense but focused. Despite the mounting pressure, Carter maintained her composure, directing her team with a calm authority that reassured even the most anxious of her colleagues. She knew that time was of the essence. During one particularly grueling day, as Carter reviewed the latest test results, an idea struck her. The virus's origins on Mortune suggested a biological relationship with the planet's toxic environment. If the Krethaks had developed immunity over time, perhaps the answer lay not in fighting the virus directly, but in harnessing its toxic properties. Dr. Carter recalled ancient Earth practices of using poisons as medicine, a concept explored in early medical traditions. Could a controlled dose of the Sithra toxin stimulate an immune response? Dr. Carter called for an emergency meeting with her colleagues, including Dr. Threx and Cora, who had joined the team to provide insight into the Sithra toxin's nature. Threx was skeptical of Carter's idea, concerned about the potential dangers of using the toxin as a basis for a cure. Eliza, the Sithra toxin is incredibly potent, Threx argued. Even a small mistake in dosage could be fatal. We're dealing with a substance that has killed millions. How can we justify using it as a treatment? Dr. Carter understood Threx's concerns but remained resolute. I know the risks, Threx, she replied. But we've tried every conventional method and none of them have worked. The virus mutates too quickly. We need to think differently. If we can isolate the toxin's properties and administer it in a controlled environment, we might be able to trigger an immune response without causing harm. The room was silent as Carter's words sank in. It was a bold idea, one that defied traditional medical practice. But the stakes were too high and time was running out. After a long pause, Threx nodded slowly. I don't like it, but I see your point. If we can refine the toxin and test it carefully, it might be our only option. I'll help. With Threx on board, Dr. Carter's team began the painstaking process of developing a serum. They isolated the Sithra toxin and experimented with different dosages, testing on cell cultures and non-sentient organisms to determine the safest and most effective formula. The work was slow and meticulous, with every step documented and analyzed. The first few attempts failed, either proving ineffective or causing adverse reactions. But Carter's team persisted, driven by the knowledge that lives depended on their success. After weeks of trial and error, a breakthrough finally came. A refined version of the serum showed promising results in controlled laboratory tests. The treated cells developed antibodies that neutralized the Sithra virus, indicating a potential pathway to immunity. Dr. Carter felt a surge of hope for the first time since the outbreak began. If these results could be replicated in living patients, they might have found the key to stopping the virus. Dr. Carter presented the findings to the Galactic Health Federation. The council chamber was filled with representatives from various species, each looking for a glimmer of hope in the midst of the crisis. Carter outlined her approach, explaining the scientific basis for using the Sithra toxin and detailing the safety measures her team had implemented. The response was mixed. Some delegates were enthusiastic, seeing the potential for a cure. Others were wary, concerned about the risks involved. Ambassador Zelkor, chairing the session, listened intently. Dr. Carter, your proposal is innovative, but it carries significant risks. The Sithra toxin is lethal. How can we be sure that this serum will not cause more harm than good? Carter nodded, anticipating the question. We've taken every precaution to ensure the serum's safety, Ambassador. The dosage is carefully calibrated, and we've seen no adverse reactions in our preliminary tests. I understand the concerns, but we cannot afford to wait for a perfect solution. The virus is spreading, and we need to act now. With controlled trials, we can monitor the effects and make adjustments as necessary. After a lengthy debate, the Galactic Health Federation agreed to authorize a limited trial of the serum on a volunteer basis. Carter's team was granted access to a research facility on a neutral space station, where they could conduct the trials under strict supervision. The decision marked a turning point in the fight against Sithra, offering a ray of hope amid the darkness. The research facility on the space station was equipped with advanced medical technology and staffed by a team of doctors and scientists from various species. Volunteers from different planets, all infected with the Sithra virus, were brought in for treatment. Among the first to receive the serum was a young human woman, a Krethak elder, and a Dranak soldier. Each had been chosen for their differing physiologies, providing a broad spectrum for testing the serum's effectiveness. Dr. Carter and Dr. Threx and Cora oversaw the trials personally, monitoring the patient's vital signs and administering the serum with utmost care. The atmosphere in the facility was tense, filled with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. The volunteers were briefed on the risks, but each expressed a willingness to proceed, understanding the importance of their role in finding a cure. As the serum was administered, the initial response was hopeful. The patients showed no immediate adverse reactions, and their symptoms began to stabilize. Over the next few days, the signs of improvement became more evident. Fevers dropped, seizures subsided, and neurological functions started to return to normal. The patient's immune systems were responding to the serum, producing antibodies that targeted the Sithra virus. Word of the successful trials spread quickly, reaching affected planets and bringing a sense of relief. For the first time since the outbreak began, there was a tangible sign of progress. The galaxy's citizens watched the news with cautious optimism, knowing that the fight was far from over, but hopeful that a solution was within reach. The initial success of the serum trials marked a critical step in the battle against the Sithra virus. Dr. Carter's unconventional approach had proven effective, turning a deadly poison into a powerful tool for healing. However, the challenges ahead were daunting. Scaling up production, addressing potential side effects, and ensuring fair distribution would require cooperation and trust from all galactic species. As Dr. Carter and her team prepared for the next phase, they knew that the journey was just beginning. The Sithra virus had united the galaxy in a common struggle, and it would take the combined efforts of scientists, diplomats, and leaders to overcome it. In the face of adversity, the resilience and ingenuity of the galactic community would be tested. But with each step forward, hope grew stronger, lighting the way toward a future free from the shadow of Sithra. With the approval from the Galactic Health Federation, the task of mass-producing the Sithra serum began in earnest. Dr. Carter's research facility, now buzzing with activity, was expanded to accommodate additional laboratories and production lines. Scientists from various species joined the effort, each bringing their unique expertise to the table. Dr. Threx and Cora played a pivotal role, using his deep understanding of Krethak biochemistry to refine the serum's formulation and increase its efficacy. His initial skepticism about using the Sithra toxin had transformed into cautious optimism as he saw the serum's positive effects on patients. The serum's production, however, was not without its hurdles. The toxin had to be synthesized in a controlled environment to ensure purity and safety. The refinement process required rare minerals and specific conditions that were difficult to replicate on a large scale. This necessitated the establishment of supply chains to source raw materials from different planets, each with its logistical challenges. To oversee these operations, Dr. Carter enlisted the help of Captain Jarek Cole, whose experience in military logistics and interstellar transport made him the ideal candidate for managing the complex supply networks. Captain Cole, we need these materials delivered without delay, Dr. Carter said during one of their strategy meetings. Any disruption could set us back days, and every minute counts. Cole nodded, his face serious. I understand, Doctor. I've already arranged for armed escorts for the shipments. We'll ensure that everything arrives on time and intact. But I need to know, is the serum safe for everyone? There's been talk of side effects. Dr. Carter sighed, her expression tense. That's what we're working on now. The serum has shown promise, but it's not without risks. We're refining the formula to minimize side effects, but with so many different species involved, it's challenging. We have to proceed carefully. As production ramped up, reports of side effects began to surface from some of the initial trials. While many patients showed marked improvement, a small percentage experienced allergic reactions ranging from mild rashes to severe anaphylactic shock. In rare cases, the serum triggered neurological symptoms similar to those caused by the Sithra virus itself, leading to concerns about its safety. The media, which had previously hailed the serum as a miracle cure, now featured debates on its potential dangers. Critics questioned whether Dr. Carter's approach of using a toxin-based cure was too risky. Dr. Valor Eichen, a leading Dranak scientist who had opposed the use of the Sithra toxin from the start, was one of the most vocal critics. In a public statement, he argued, "We are playing with fire. Using a known poison as a cure is reckless and could have unforeseen consequences. We should be investing in more conventional research, not rushing to deploy a solution that could do more harm than good." These criticisms put Dr. Carter under immense pressure. She and her team had to work around the clock to investigate the causes of the side effects and find ways to mitigate them. Dr. Threx and Cora led a series of studies to understand how different species biologies reacted to the serum. His findings revealed that the serum's concentration needed to be adjusted based on specific genetic markers unique to each species. This discovery led to the development of customized serum formulations tailored to different species, reducing the incidence of adverse reactions. Dr. Carter knew that public confidence was crucial for the success of the serum. To address concerns, she held a press conference, accompanied by Dr. Threx and Cora and Ambassador Zelkor, to explain the steps being taken to ensure safety. "We are fully committed to the safety and well-being of every patient," Carter said. "We are continuously refining the serum to address any side effects, and we are conducting thorough testing to ensure that it is safe for use across all species. This is a collective effort, and we will not rest until we have a solution that works for everyone." As the serum moved closer to large-scale deployment, the Galactic Health Federation faced significant political and diplomatic challenges. The outbreak had affected numerous planets, each demanding access to the serum. The Krethax, whose planet Mortune was the origin of the virus, insisted on priority access, citing their historical connection to Sithra and the high infection rates among their population. Human colonies, which had been heavily impacted, also demanded immediate aid, arguing that their role in developing the cure warranted priority. Ambassador Zelkor found himself in a delicate position, tasked with balancing these competing demands while maintaining fairness. He called for a meeting with representatives from the affected species to discuss a distribution plan. The meeting was held on a neutral space station with holographic displays showing the spread of the virus and the projected distribution timelines. "Ambassador Zelkor," a Krethak representative began, his tone urgent. "Our people are suffering. Mortune is the epicenter of this outbreak. We should be the first to receive the serum. It's only right that we take care of our own first. A human delegate, seated across the table, responded sharply. The human colonies have been devastated by Sithra. We've lost thousands of lives, and our economies are collapsing. Without the serum, entire planets could be wiped out. We deserve priority as much as anyone. Zelkor raised a hand to calm the growing tension. I understand the concerns of all parties. However, our goal must be to contain the virus as efficiently as possible. We propose a phased distribution plan, focusing first on the most heavily affected areas and gradually expanding to others. This approach will maximize the impact of the serum and save the most lives. The debate continued for hours, with representatives arguing their cases. In the end, a compromise was reached. A task force would be established to oversee the phased distribution, with priority given to regions experiencing the highest infection rates. Regular updates and assessments would ensure that the serum reached those in greatest need, and adjustments could be made based on the evolving situation. With a distribution plan in place, the focus shifted to logistics and security. Captain Jarrett Cole was put in charge of coordinating the transportation of the serum to various planets. Given the high demand and the value of the serum, the risk of theft, piracy, and sabotage was real. Cole implemented strict security protocols, deploying armed escorts and using secure routes to transport the serum. We've received reports of black market interest in the serum, Cole informed Dr. Carter and Ambassador Zelkor during a briefing. There are rumors that some groups are willing to pay a fortune to get their hands on it, either to use it or to sell it to the highest bidder. We need to be vigilant. Zelkor nodded. The safety of the serum is paramount. We cannot afford any breaches. The public trust is already fragile. Any mishap could undermine everything we've achieved. Cole's team included experienced pilots and security personnel from different species, each trained to handle high-risk missions. The transport ships were equipped with advanced defensive systems, and routes were carefully planned to avoid conflict zones and areas known for piracy. Despite these precautions, the sheer scale of the operation made it impossible to guarantee complete safety. During one shipment to a Krethak colony, a transport ship came under attack from a group of space pirates looking to steal the serum. Captain Cole, who had anticipated such threats, had positioned a military escort nearby. A fierce battle ensued, but the pirates were repelled, and the serum safely reached its destination. The incident served as a stark reminder of the challenges they faced, and Cole doubled down on security measures for future transports. To further boost public confidence in the serum's safety, Dr. Carter proposed a large-scale public trial. The trial would be held at the research facility on the neutral space station, with patients from various species participating. The event was designed to be transparent, with live broadcasts allowing the galactic community to witness the trial firsthand. Patients, including humans, Krethaks, Dranax, and other species, were carefully selected based on their health conditions and willingness to participate. Dr. Carter and Dr. Threx and Cora led the trial, explaining the scientific basis of the serum and the safety protocols in place. We understand the concerns, Carter addressed the gathered media and viewers. The serum is not perfect, but it's our best chance. By working together, we can refine it and make it safe for everyone. Today's trial is about proving that we can face this challenge united. As the trial proceeded, the initial results were positive. Patients showed improvement, with symptoms subsiding and immune responses strengthening. No severe side effects were observed during the trial, and the serum's effectiveness in neutralizing the virus was evident. The successful trial was a turning point, restoring faith in the serum and demonstrating the power of collaborative scientific efforts. Ambassador Zelkor, speaking after the trial, emphasized the importance of unity. This pandemic has shown us that we are all connected. The Sithra virus does not care about our differences. It threatens us all. Our response must be equally united. The success of this serum is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together. With the public trial a success, full-scale production and distribution of the serum were launched. Dr. Carter's team continued to refine the serum, incorporating feedback and data from ongoing use to improve its safety and efficacy. The phased distribution plan, overseen by the Galactic Health Federation's task force, was implemented, reaching the most affected areas first. Captain Cole's logistics and security efforts ensured that the serum reached its destinations without incident, despite occasional attempts by criminals to disrupt the supply lines. The galactic community rallied behind the effort, with scientists, diplomats, and citizens working together to combat the Sithra virus. The serum's deployment marked a significant milestone in the fight against Sithra. The once devastating virus, which had spread fear and panic, was now being brought under control. As infection rates dropped and patients recovered, a sense of normalcy began to return to the galaxy. Dr. Eliza Carter's work had saved millions of lives, and her innovative use of a deadly toxin to create a cure would be remembered as a defining moment in medical history. The challenges of scaling up production, addressing safety concerns, and navigating political tensions tested the resolve of Dr. Carter and her team. Yet, through persistence, collaboration, and innovative thinking, they overcame these obstacles. The successful use of the Sithra serum highlighted the importance of cooperation in the face of a common threat. As the galaxy healed from the pandemic, the bonds formed during the crisis strengthened, paving the way for greater unity and shared progress. Dr. Carter's success story became a beacon of hope, showing that even in the darkest times, there is light. The Sithra virus had brought the galaxy to its knees, but it had also united its people, proving that together they could turn even the deadliest of poisons into a cure. The lessons learned from this crisis would guide future generations, reminding them that when faced with the unknown, it is the strength of their unity and the courage to innovate that would carry them through.